Hey, God bless you guys. This is Bible Wise Money. I am Carlos.
And I'm Alicia.
And we are coming to you today with an episode about some ideas on ways that you can diversify your product line. Come inside the video and I'll tell you all about it. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11, verse number 2, it says, invest in 7 ventures, yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land. And the principle that's here is it's okay and it's actually a good idea to diversify. So whether that's diversifying your investments, or if you're a reseller, diversify the products that you sell. It's always a good idea because you might find that you're investing in one thing and you're selling one thing and that thing might just be a fad. There were people 2 years ago who did very well selling fidget spinners. I don't know anyone who's even remotely interested in buying a fidget spinner anymore. That's what you call a fad. It's really hot for maybe a couple of weeks or a couple of months, then it's gone. So the principle at work here is diversify. It's probably a good idea to do that, especially because you don't know what's going to happen in the future. And if you have different product lines, different things that you buy and sell, you're more likely to continue to do well if something in the market changes. So with that, here are some great ideas from Alicia and I of things that you can sell and resell for profit.
So initially when I started selling on eBay, I started out selling Bath & Body Works products, things that you find on sale in the store, that you get at a great price, and then you can raise the price and put it online, and people who really want it and desire to have it will purchase your item, and then you can make a profit. And I also dabbled in gift baskets, which I would buy things on discount, put it in a basket, kind of calculate how much the cost was, and then raise the price from there and make a profit.
So one of the things that I stumbled on very recently is individuals who would sell pretty much the latest newspapers. As an example, I'll show you that based on the things that are going on in Washington, some of the things that I saw very recently, just from a couple of weeks ago, January 7th, we all know what happened in Washington. And here are listings that I could actually show you, people who are selling 2 or 3 different or 4 different newspapers, and they're selling for $50 to $60. So these newspapers probably only cost about $8, and they're selling them from $50 to $60 for the 7 newspapers. So we're talking about 6x, 7x return, which to me is amazing. So what did I do when the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl the other day? I didn't tell my wife this. I went to the store, the corner 7-Eleven, and I purchased, and I understand that you're seeing these things backwards. I've already had a couple of viewers who commented on that. So I bought these 2 New York newspapers. They only cost $5. Matter of fact, if you could read this properly and it looks good to you, you're probably dyslexic. For the rest of us, it's backwards or it's upside down or it's very, very confusing. But I bought these 2 newspapers for $5. I actually bought 5 sets. Now you know why I didn't tell my wife. Because I'm coming back in the house with 10 newspapers. And each set costs $5. And already 2 days later, I've already sold 2 sets for $15 plus postage, which is $21. So think about it. I paid, that's 4x return. So I paid $25 to purchase 5 sets of newspapers. And at this point, it looks like I will sell all 5 sets for $100. And when you think about it, even when you factor out the shipping costs and the eBay fees, that's still taking $25 and turning it into $75 in just a couple of days. I'm still very curious about what the potential is for selling newspapers because not every day has newsworthy stories. People really don't care about most of the things that are published. However, it seems lately there's a lot of stuff that comes out of, let's say, Washington, or there's always a lot of stuff happening in the sporting world. So Could it be that this is something else that you might want to add in to your portfolio of products that you sell that could make you 3x or 4x? Alicia.
I did move into selling things around the house of value. And so some of the things that I stumbled on that I didn't think I could sell, I actually did end up selling. So I looked in my perfume cabinet and I found a few scents that I didn't really care about anymore, didn't want to wear anymore. They were half full or, almost empty. And I put it online. And believe it or not, I sold every single bottle. Another thing.
So let me ask you a question. I'm guessing that these fragrances were not Avon.
No.
Or something, right? Tell me a little bit about what was the caliber, or tell our audience the caliber of these fragrances that you saw reselling.
So these are, these are the higher end fragrances. So we're talking about Liz Claiborne, Yves Saint Laurent, bigger name brands that you wouldn't really expect to sell if it were half full.
And I'm guessing my Old Spice, my half-used Old Spice from Christmas 2005 is probably not going to be a big seller. Okay, so much for Old Spice.
Okay, so one more thing, one more category, I guess you can call it, of things that you can find around the house that you can sell. Look at books. You may have tons of books in your house just laying around. They're dusty, they're dirty. And I'm sure, as those of you who are students out there or former students, that you have a bunch of textbooks you would buy and sell them. There are people out there looking for textbooks. And so I was very successful in selling existing books from the shelves that we have here now. And I'm still working on it. I'm still working on that. Electronics. People will buy old game systems. Oh my gosh, that's huge. I sold at least one game system, a little handheld game system, and a bunch of, wait for it now, Nintendo 64 cartridges. Sold like wildfire. I sold one handheld game that did not work. It didn't even charge. Still sold it for parts.
Coming up, my next thought is that I've recently understood that there's actually a market, wait for it, for men's underwear.
Not used, I hope.
Now, fellas, I'm not talking about your stretched out Fruit of the Loom with the extra holes in it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about brand, and I understand that. I told my wife my goal is to have 30 sets of underwear so I can just do laundry once a month. But every time I buy new stuff, she throws out the old, or she forces me to throw out my old stuff. But new, brand new, in the pack, whether it's packs of 3, 4, 5, usually the big names. We're talking about like Yves Saint Laurent, or all the big names. And it's not unusual to see these on sales either in like a Ross or maybe Target or Marshall's. There are many big box department stores that specialize in reselling product that they get from other outlets. So you may find that you can buy something on sale, men's underwear in the packet, brand new, and in fact you might be able to get it just for $3, $4, $5, and these are the same items that online might sell from between $10 to $15. There's even a market for ladies' underwear. Now, I'm not going there.
Don't go there.
Listen.
You messed up with the bee perfume, the cosmetics, the wipes.
I just don't see coming home with a case of ladies' underwear having. I'd love to see my wife's reaction, but no, I think I'm seeing it right now. So one of the suppliers that I have, he just got into selling plus size ladies' underwear on eBay, and he says his biggest market is Australia. So I don't know what's going on with the plus size women in Australia that they have to come all the way to the US to get their drawers.
Drawers?
Apparently, what do you call them?
Oh,
Delicates?
never mind, never
Personals?
mind. Just move on.
They're listen, they're drawers.
Skirt
Undies.
You're gonna get bad comments. So.
I don't listen. The drawers to me, that's what I call them. Maybe it's called something else from the ladies' side.
The other thing is baby clothing. Think about this seriously. Don't throw it away. If it's not stained, if it still looks brand new, even if, you get like too many of one thing and the baby never gets to wear it because they grew too fast, put it online. I've sold packets of t-shirts that were still sealed. The holiday dresses that with the shoes and the clothing and even toys, the bathtubs. We had 2 bathtubs. I ended up selling one. So look into baby products. Baby products do sell.
And you're talking about the baby products. One of the things that it stood out to me is the potential, especially for footwear for young children. Some people, and maybe it's you, they go out and they'll spend more on their baby's footwear than they will on themselves. And as you know, especially when a child is very young, they're not wearing out the bottom of the sneaker. Let's say if it's a sneaker. So they don't typically wear them out, they outgrow them. So in fact, you may have, baby Jordans and they're in perfect condition and they actually sell very well online. So think about that as well. Not only just baby clothes, but baby footwear as well.
And not just babies, but even your older children, because we have growing children.
Oh, yeah.
Brand new pair of boots, probably worn twice. Pair of Timberlands, brand new. And
I'm waiting for my son to outgrow those.
He did.
Because, I'm selling them tomorrow. Because those, you told me they were $150 pair of boots. Yes. These things are gorgeous. These things, and they look perfect because, it's winter boots. So you're not going to wear them every day. And when you do wear them, I guess you're mostly walking on snow or you're going to stay inside. So there's minimal wear and they're absolutely gorgeous. I could probably get $100 back for those boots. Yeah. Okay, my next one that's up is, I've seen these in thrifting stores, actually ski jackets. And I'm very intrigued by them because, and the reason I haven't bought them to this point is, even in thrift shops, they tend to be very expensive. And usually the shops that sell them are shops that are closest to very nice neighborhoods. Makes sense. I did not grow up skiing. I went skiing one time. I call it skiing. I basically slid down the mountain like 2 or 3 times. And that was, what did you do this weekend, Carlos? I skied. So I'm not a skier, so I really don't understand the garments and the gloves and the equipment. But I'm willing to learn because some of the stuff resells very well. And one of the things that I found very intriguing, I don't know why. If you know, please put it in the comments. Skiers will have like lift tickets and they'll attach them to the pockets of the zipper. And then they'll actually leave the lift ticket on. So after a while, you have this accumulation of lift tickets. Like you can say, yeah, I've skied. One might say Vail. One might say Aspen. One might say Poconos. So it's almost like it's almost like a running tally of where you've skied, but really if you leave it on the jacket, for me, it almost feels like, or it looks like a passport for the jacket. And I think you're supposed to leave them on, and I guess it increases the resale value. So I don't understand that, but I know that they sell. To me, when I think about it, the only analogy that I can make, and it's definitely like when I go to the beach, if I'm wearing my Speedo at the beach, and I could say I've been to Daytona Beach, I've been to Myrtle Beach, I've been to Jersey Shore, I've been to Ocean City, I'm not thinking about taking the parking pass and stapling it onto the Speedo, and then someday I'm going to resell it, and you could say, oh, this Speedo has been all over the world at the finest beaches in the world. I mean, does it work? Is that the same thing? Would you buy those?
A Speedo?
Speedo. Anyway, that's my own dementia. Ski jackets. Alicia.
So my last category, and you moms out there, I know you feel me. Toys. Children's toys. My dolls, for instance. Dolls that are no longer in production. So they're retired, but from a great name brand like Mattel or some of the other, name brands. They may be of a popular, like a icon, maybe it's, let me just think really quick, Big Comfy Couch. That was huge. Big Comfy Couch. Try to buy something that is related to Big Comfy Couch.
Can you get Molly?
You can get Molly, but she's really expensive. And so we have Molly, and we have Boo from Monsters Inc. And we have even Sully from Monsters Inc. These things sell like wildfire, and they are not cheap because they are no longer in production. They're retired. They're popular. The movies were just boom, they exploded. And so, I have all of these things. Even Tickle Me Elmo, the original Tickle Me Elmo is worth so much money. Sesame Street characters. What child doesn't love Sesame Street? Lego. Oh my gosh, my biggest seller ever. Lego.
How many times have you stepped on Lego?
Oh my, no, me not me.
Me all the time, all the time.
But Lego sells, and believe it or not, if you still have the books, which I'm very good at keeping, the instruction books, and so I've sold Lego sets for hundreds of dollars. I mean, I'm not kidding you, hundreds of dollars, and they did not cost me that much, and in perfect condition. So don't throw your kids' toys away. See if they have value. Clean it up, take a picture of it, put it online, and sell it out.
So another category that's been intriguing I've been watching is things like Bibles and inspirational gifts. I know it's kind of hard to find Christian bookstores. Mm-hmm. And they're the baby. She's watching the moon. And I guess most people buy their inspirational items, whether it's a Bible or books, they probably go to Amazon, I guess. But that's easily an area, and I know a lot of you who are or viewers who can relate to, and it's easy to get into. So you can definitely find wholesale sources where you can buy inspirational items, where you can buy Bibles for resale. There's a lot of great stuff that's out there, and you could buy that and resell it. So I hope you got something out of the video. We gave you lots of ideas on things that you might considering selling, or you might consider at least looking into, because it might make something that makes sense for you at some point to buy and sell. That's it for this video, but as always, we hope you stay tuned for the bloopers. And if you enjoyed the content, if you can hit the thumbs up button, and if you can hit the subscribe, we would greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much. God bless you, and see you on the next video. Hey, God bless you. This is, no, forget it's not, you know who I am. So it's that quote-unquote vintage toy. You're probably not selling it to a child. It's going to be a grown adult. I was going to say something else. A grown adult who still is buying toys. Well, as a Christian child. Got to be careful with that.